Hello everyone, with a look at the new warband Thyrielle Zephyrites for Warhammer Underworlds, which will be going on pre-order this Saturday as they were announced last weekend. And I must say, awesome figures, but I do have some issues both with the band and in general, but that's for during the video. Now first of all, the band is a 5 model or well 4 model warband and a token figure. That's a tool, the fox, awesome little figure. But they are basically doing with that model what they said they couldn't do with Spinefin for the wall scroll. That's that the little fox is well, doing all kinds of stuff on the table like Spinefin used to do in edition 1, and suddenly it's possible. So yeah, as a lover of Elephane, I feel robbed. Now the rest of the models, you got the leader, of course, Thyrielle, awesome mage model. The flask opening up those wind-like magic out of there. Probably would have painted that a bit lighter than a dark blue, because now it looks a bit like water. And then with a fan as a weapon, so that's pretty cool. Then there's the blind archer, awesome model Orief, so really cool looking figure. And Anara is like his apprentice archer. And then we have Sirikif, who is the guy with the spear and the very pretty lantern. So the article is on Warhammer Community, and if you look at it, they have the living gale. That's well, the thingy that the fox does. You put him somewhere on the table, you can pull a straight line from it, and then well, a bit like the Sireni ability Hammer Tide, everything that is in that line is affected. Now that means that he will block movement, so he doesn't block line of sight, but there's a bit of the good things. They all become windblown, which is both good and bad. So your own fighters, they will get the flying rule mark and +1 move, so they can suddenly get everywhere. You are windblown at the beginning, so you don't have to run over that line. If you are windblown when you start your move, you have that +1. And well, opponents, they are considered flanked, so that even works when you shoot at them. You don't have to be adjacent, apparently. Might need a bit of a clarification afterwards, because the flank rules normally say attacks coming from adjacent models, so we'll have to see how that works. But yeah, the models themselves, their stats, they all have a crit, grapple, crit, grievous, so you have 2 damage range attacks on crits. The crit grapple is actually not that bad either, because you can now hit people and then toss them into the windblown line if they are right next to it. So that's also pretty cool. And they have some other things if they are windblown, and they have move and charge tokens. They get +1 save dice. So and we'll get later to that, like the leader and the spearman. They can go to 3 dodge, 2 dodge, and 3 dodges. So it's all pretty cool, because there is also the ability Cyclonic Pull, and this is one, well, it basically does the same as a Shadeborn. So if your name is Crack Meadow of Daintalas, you're in for a heap of pain, because you use that in your power step. You pick a friendly windblown fighter and you push out any number of hexes in a straight line towards a friendly tool model. So yeah, you can set it up, but it is important, it's in your power step, so that's bit of a big difference with the Shadeborn teleport ability. But yeah, you can move right next to, if you position the fox well, or even in a line with those undead controlling leaders. So yeah, that might be a thing. Put in a Blazing Assault and Cataclysm, which is another thing they actually now say in the article itself, and just a Cataclysm. That's a bit of a problem with all Underworlds. Seems everything comes down to the 3 decks from the beginning: Pillage and Plunder, Blazing Assault, and Countdown to Cataclysm, and all the rest doesn't really matter. Those are the decks that Emberstone Sentinel's a bit less, but that are always up there. I had it at Maastricht. I played 8 times against the Blazing Assault, 8 games, and I had 6 opponents playing Blazing Assault, Countdown to Cataclysm. And that's one of the reasons the game is starting to grow a bit stale on myself, but that doesn't matter for the new awesome looking models, of course. The other ability they have that's already been previewed is one with the wind. You use that in your power step, and you can remove the fox and place him somewhere else once, so that's also pretty cool. Looking at the stats of the fighter itself, so you got Orief, well, he has a good accurate ranged attack with crit grievous. His apprentice though rolls the dice more, uninspired, but she only, well, she also has a crit grievous, but it's 2 hammers or 3 swords. What I am a bit amazed about is that they only have 3 ranged. When they previewed the models, I would have expected a 4 for the archers. Thyrielle also has a 3 dice, 3 swords ranged attack with crit grapple. Again, as I said, she can put your opponent into the windblown range, and then you can shoot at them with the critical attacks for the extra damage because they consider as flanked, so that's pretty nice. Spear guy uninspired, he has a 1 damage attack, 2 hammers, but it has grievous automatically, so yeah, basically does, well, except like 1 or 2 abilities on a war scroll leader or 1 piece of upgrade, he always does 2 damage anyway, so that's a pretty nice thing. On their inspired side, Thyrielle, she gets grapple on both her attacks, standard, no longer critical. 3 hammers for 2 in melee, 3 hammers for 1 on the ranged, and it remains on 3. Same goes for both archers. Their ranged attacks remain on a 3 range. They go up, Oriev gets a 3rd hammer, and Anara goes from 3 swords to 2 hammers, but they remain at 1 dice with crit grievous, so still a bit of a tricky proposition there. You might have very mighty volleys, or suddenly you might have weak volleys that can't even take down an elite. And Styrin, well, he goes to 3 hammers, 2 damage, so the grievous falls away, he becomes standard 2 damage, and now he gets grapple as well. So it's a band that will be tossing around their opponents quite a lot. Now, stat-wise, the fact is that your close combat guy, the spear guy Sirikif, he only has 3 wounds and he's the 1 bounty figure, so I personally would have taken Anara, the apprentice archer, as a 3 wound 1 bountier for my part, but yeah, it's not what I did. The older range ones have the 4 wounds and a 2 bounty, and the 1 guy without a ranged attack, he's the 3 wounds 1 bounty figure, so yeah, might work well with some decks. They suggest Rack and Ruin and Deadly Synergies, but yeah, I think this is just going to become yet another, I'm not going to say Blazing Assault Cataclysm, but I'm going to see Cataclysm go with them anyway, and probably I would guess Emberstone Sentinels. So that looks like a solid combination on first sight for them. Emberstone Sentinels, Cataclysm, do some damage, take objectives. And because they can hold objectives, go on guard and still shoot and everything, it might actually work. Because with the guard and they can't be pushed, they would remain in their windblown line as well. More for the extra defense dice than from the Zephyr dance than they would for the extra move, because they would be on guard and holding treasure tokens. But yeah, that's the new warband that's coming for Warhammer Underworlds, the Luminate Realm Lords of the Zephyrites. Might buy them, probably. Will I buy them immediately? Probably not, because I have enough to paint, enough projects to run, but they're just awesome figures. I love the leader and the fox in particular. The blind archer is pretty cool, but yeah, for me the fox is even a model of the year candidate. For the rest, well, one thing, as I said in the earlier videos I did a few weeks ago, a live after Underworlds, another writing for me on the wall is this warband that we are starting to dwindle down the game, as no accompanying deck has been released, which is usually always happening when they release a new warband. So yeah, signs. The signs are everywhere, but nothing is official. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. For my personal mindset, I think a year and a half to go, and then it's over, which is a fair good thing. Then we just move on to the next game and start playing that to pieces. But yeah, it's just one of those little things. Anyway, we'll see how the warband comes out, how it plays, and what they all do. And for now, thanks for watching, and I hopefully see you all soon in a next video. Bye bye. For watching this video, and if you want to support me, check out the link tree above for all my channels, so you can have a look there, or my affiliate links, so there's a little kickback to the channel for more content. And if you really like, you can always buy me a coffee. Thanks, and bye bye.